Maeve O'Connell, a sharp-witted 30-year-old romance novelist living in Boston, has officially run out of patience with modern dating. After yet another excruciating first date with a narcissistic finance bro who spends 45 minutes talking only about himself, she kicks off her heels in her apartment and lets out a heavy sigh. Her love life feels like a series of failed chapters. Her last serious relationship with Michael ended when he admitted he wasn't ready for marriage or children, even though she was 30 and her biological clock was ticking. Just as she sinks into the couch, her phone rings. It's her Irish grandmother Noreen, who always seems to sense bad news from across the ocean. Grandma Noreen doesn't waste time. She has already bought Maeve a plane ticket to Ireland and signed her up for the legendary Lisdoonvarna Matchmaking Festival in County Clare. Maeve protests loudly she has a novel deadline, she doesn't want to be sold for cattle, and she certainly doesn't want to live in a cottage in the middle of nowhere. But Grandma is firm. This is the same festival where she met Maeve's grandfather decades ago, and she believes fate has plans for her granddaughter. Maeve eventually gives in, deciding the trip could at least become research for her next bestseller, a story about an American woman who finds unexpected love at a traditional Irish matchmaking event. 2 days later, she boards the plane with reluctant optimism. When Maeve lands in Shannon and drives the winding roads to Lisdoonvarna, Ireland takes her breath away. Rolling green hills stretch endlessly under bright blue skies. Colorful houses line the streets. The air smells fresh and full of possibility. She checks into a charming, ivy-covered cottage with a writing desk overlooking grazing sheep and feels, for the first time in years, that she might actually belong somewhere. That evening, she walks to the Crow's Nest, a traditional weathered pub that seems perfect for her novel's setting. Inside, the smell of Guinness and fish and chips fills the air. Live music plays. Locals laugh and clap. Then she sees him. Liam stands behind the bar, 6'3", powerfully built, with tattoos running down his forearms, a full beard, and thick brown hair. He moves with quiet authority. When their eyes meet, something electric passes between them. Maeve tries to play it cool, but she is clearly staring. A local girl beside her laughs and says, "That's Liam. He's trouble. He doesn't like locals or tourists." Maeve insists she isn't interested, but when Liam finally walks over to take her order, the banter is immediate and charged. She orders Guinness. He calls her Miss America with cool sarcasm. She fires back with attitude. He is surprised and intrigued. He brings her fish and chips and lingers longer than necessary. For the first time in a long time, Maeve feels truly seen. Grandma Noreen, true to form, has already arranged a match through the famous matchmaker Willie Daly. His name is Declan O'Malley, a kind 33-year-old schoolteacher with a cottage nearby. Maeve agrees to meet him at the festival's sealed dance, partly to appease her grandmother and partly because she needs material for her book. At the dance, Declan is sweet and safe. He smiles constantly and tries hard to make her laugh. But Maeve keeps glancing toward Liam's beer tent. Liam watches them dance, his jaw tight with jealousy he refuses to name. When a sudden heavy rainstorm hits, Maeve and Liam end up alone under a small festival canopy. The air between them crackles. Maeve, acting on pure impulse, leans up and kisses him. It is fierce and hungry. Liam kisses her back with equal force, hands in her hair. Then Maeve panics, pulls away, and runs into the rain without a word, leaving Liam standing there stunned. The following days turn into a torturous game of avoidance and longing. Liam, still deeply scarred by the death of his fiancée Cara in a car crash years earlier, has strict rules, no relationships with locals, and definitely no relationships with tourists who will eventually leave. He ignores Maeve completely when she comes into the pub. Maeve, hurt and confused, returns the favor. But the tension only grows. One afternoon, she confronts him in the women's bathroom after he has been deliberately cold. Their argument explodes into another passionate kiss. Liam pulls away again, repeating that he doesn't do commitment. Maeve is furious, determined to move on and stop obsessing over Liam. Maeve goes on another date with Declan. They walk through town and end up near the crow's nest. Declan kisses her. Maeve pulls back immediately, realizing she feels nothing. From across the square, Liam sees everything. Something inside him snaps. After the pub closes and the last customer leaves, he finds Maeve outside and pulls her back inside. The door locks. What follows is raw, urgent, and intense. They have sex against the bar counter, fast and desperate, months of tension finally breaking. Afterward, Liam walks her home in silence. Neither of them knows how to name what just happened. The small town begins to talk. Someone saw Liam walking Maeve home late at night. The next morning, when Maeve enters the pub with her laptop, locals stare. Caitlin, Liam's sister who works at the bar, pulls her aside and gently warns her that Liam has a reputation for casual flings and walking away when things get real. Maeve brushes it off, but the seed of doubt is planted. Later, when Caitlin confronts Liam about his obvious interest in Maeve, he panics and loudly declares that there is nothing going on between them. Maeve, sitting in a corner booth, hears every word. She feels like a fool. She packs up and leaves without looking back. That afternoon, Liam shows up at Maeve's cottage carrying a container of homemade lamb stew, fresh Irish soda bread, butter, and a bottle of red wine. It is his way of apologizing. Over dinner on the small garden table, he finally opens up. He tells her about Cara, how they were engaged, how her sudden death in a car crash destroyed him, and how he has spent the years since building walls so high that no one can climb them. Maeve listens without judgment. For the first time, Liam allows himself to be truly vulnerable. Their reconciliation is slow and tender. They make love in her bedroom with a new kind of intimacy, long eye contact, soft kisses along her collarbone, his hand holding hers tightly. It feels different from the urgent pub encounter. It feels like something that could matter. For the next 3 days, they exist in a secret, addictive bubble. They steal time in the pub storeroom, her cottage, and his apartment above the bar. They drink too much Guinness one night and laugh until dawn. Maeve writes furiously, shaping her male lead Patrick directly after Liam the beard, the tattoos, the guarded heart that only softens for the right woman. Liam still refuses to put a label on what they are doing. He will not call her his girlfriend. He is terrified of the word and of the fact that Maeve's life is in Boston while his is rooted in this small Irish town. The bubble cracks when Caitlin warns Maeve again, this time more directly, about Liam's pattern of hurting women. Maeve confronts him at the pub. Liam admits he is confused and scared. He tells her he likes her wit, her fire, the way she challenges him, but he doesn't know how to do commitment anymore. Maeve is equally conflicted. She didn't come to Ireland looking for love. Yet, here she is, falling for a man who keeps pulling away even as he pulls her closer. They fight, then they fall into each other again with even more intensity, both acknowledging that whatever this is between them feels feral and impossible to control. Now Maeve sits in the garden of her cottage, laptop open, staring at the pages she has written. She came to Ireland for research and a possible bestseller. Instead, she found a man who makes her feel more alive and more terrified than any fictional hero she has ever created. Liam stands behind the bar across town, watching the door, knowing he has already broken every rule he set for himself after Kara's death. The matchmaking festival brought thousands of people searching for love. Neither Maeve nor Liam expected to find the one thing they both fear most, a connection real enough to make them question everything they thought they wanted. The story ends on a charged, open note. Maeve's flight back to Boston is approaching. Liam still cannot bring himself to say the word girlfriend. Yet, every time they are in the same room, the air thickens with everything they have not said. Will Maeve stay and fight for something real? Will Liam finally risk his heart again? Or will the Atlantic Ocean and their own fears pull them apart before either of them can admit they have already fallen?